What is stress? Every era in history has been characterized by some debilitating disease. Plague, polio, and pneumonia were eliminated when the environmental conditions were improved or when the germs or viruses were destroyed through drugs. In the modern society, also, we have a characteristic disease, but one that is normally considered not to be easy to eliminate. It leads to a psychosomatic disease or heart disease, and it is a major contributor to disturbances in one's emotional, family, and social life. It inhibits creativity and personal effectiveness, and it is present as general dissatisfaction that is so obvious in our daily lives. The name of this condition is stress, and it has been declared by medical researchers at Cornell University Medical College to be the most debilitating medical and social problem in the US today. And it has been spreading amongst Nepali corporate after the MNC culture has started pervading Nepal. Stress is uniquely different from what we normally think of as a disease. It has no biological structure such that of a germ or a virus, nor does it lurk in the dark sewers or contaminated water. Rather, it is the result of how we regulate or not the mental and physical functioning of our being. Even though the quality of his entire life is dictated by the state of his mind, man spends hardly any time for maintaining sound mental health. Roughly one among every five persons in the US goes to a psychiatrist for emotional problems. Many others may need it, but for some reasons they cannot or will not seek it. In the United States, which is many times more technologically advanced than Nepal, the suicide rate is the highest in the world, indicating that people are not able to live peacefully and happily. Definition of stress: stress is a form of tension in the body or mind for which there is no release or outlet. When one is under stress, one is like a car in the neutral gear with accelerator on, trying to exert internally. The primary cause of psychosomatic disease are our thoughts, attitudes, and beliefs. For example, one may suppress anger and eventually develop mental dysfunction of depression. Another may suppress anger and eventually develop migraine headaches, and so on. However, even though the development of the disease is unique to each individual, the underlying principles are the same. Research is also beginning to reveal a direct relationship between stress and cardiovascular disease. It was found that strokes and heart disease are greatest killers, and stress is often basis of this disease. The pervasive drug problem we have in many countries is also directly related to stress. A report to a National Institute of Alcoholism cites a 13 billion US dollar expenditure for alcohol related health and medical problems. Stress and distress. Is stress then a very dangerous word? No. Stress is an essential ingredient for the normal functioning of the body. Many people don't realize it, but stress is very natural and important part of life. Without stress, there would be no life at all. We need stress, but not too much stress for too long. Distress. Stress helps to remain alert, motivates to face challenges, and drives to solve problems. Distress, on the other hand, results when our body overreacts to events, when something beyond paradigm or capacity of the body, mind is expected of us, then the healthy stress turns into distress. Just like the temperature of a body is supposed to be 98.6 Fahrenheit, we don't have to bring it to zero. But when the temperature goes to 102 or 3 Fahrenheit, then the problem arises. Similarly, when the stress level in our system is left unchecked and uncontrolled, then it eats into our psyche and erodes to our immune system like a silent killer. A simple definition of stress. Stress is the wear and tear our minds and bodies experience as we attempt to cope with our continually changing environment. Stress is not something that affects us from outside, it is the response given by the survival instinct in the body. Your body and mind have their capacities. There are two fundamental needs of any living being for survival: subsistence, provision of food, water, air, and the like; protection, shelter from threats of external environment. These threats could be too much heat, too much cold, diseases, damage to one's body, insult to one's mind, circumstances like failure or death of dear ones, etc., that are threatening situations to one's mind. The body has a complex network of systems to arrange the extra supply of energy when it has to face threatening situations. Stress is simply this response of body to situations that are perceived by the body as threat. Paradigm of body. We can survive only within a very limited temperature zone. We feel comfortable when the atmospheric temperature is between 15 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. If it gets warmer, we sweat involuntarily, open our collars, and look for air or AC. The brain switches off from immediate task and worries to take action. Once the problem is sorted, our mind gets back to old tasks again and stress becomes dormant. Paradigm of mind. Whatever happens around us, either circumstances or interactions with people, mind tries to categorize them as threat or favorable. When we are forced to accept views that we don't like, or we are asked to do something beyond our capacity, it breaks our paradigm of mind and becomes a burden.